Welcome to Cross the Tracks, the podcast whose mission is to highlight the artists behind the best new releases from both the hottest new talent as well as some of the biggest black music artists.
Let's get it all out in the open. Let's have that talk, what you wanna know.
Today's episode finds us catching up with a multi-talented musician, Alex Harris from Georgia, who when I first heard his music, I was not only struck by its power and authenticity, but it also left me full of appreciation for the way that lyrics and melodies were expended in such a way that had me comparing his delivery to some of the great Southern soul and gospel singers of yesteryear. Alex took some time out of his busy schedule to not only discuss his critically acclaimed WEP Frequency, but also just what drove him from a young age to make it in the music business. Hi Alex, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Wes. It's great to have this conversation. Really great.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us on the Cross the Tracks podcast. I really appreciate it. As you know, I've been listening to your music for a while, and I've been so intrigued about you, about what you're up to, and what and just to find out some more about you, really, which is why I've asked you to come on the podcast. We can have a chat, talk about where you've come from, where you are at the moment, and where you want to go with your music. So first of all, Alex, tell me a little bit about your beginnings, your humble beginnings. I read that you was in a band many, many years ago.
Long story short of my history of coming up in the music, we formed a group called A Boys because all of my brothers' name, we have an A, it's Alex and Antipas and Andronicus and Alonzo Arcias, and then our godbrother had name
let me hold on. Let me stop. Hold on, Alex. Hold on. That was a bit strange. Now, come on. Why did your father or your mother? Why did they agree? Why did they do this?
Yeah,
this is not normal.
No, it's not. No, our dad happens to be an English professor, a teacher.
Uh-huh.
And our mother's an educator too, but he was, into literature. And so it's the names, but both, love the names. So some of our A names are our first name. Some of our A names are our second name. Mine is my first name. So, but this is a really crazy thing, right? Our godbrother, a guy that my dad and mom were, really good friends with his parents, particularly his mother. And she, as a teenager, he was doing things trans teenagers do. So he was older than us. And so she brought him to my parents and she was like, can you help me with my child? And they took in him as well as, a lot of other children.
I understand.
And he had an A name and he loved music. So he began to, he joined us later. And then, we showed up. So he showed up with his keyboard too. He was older than us. But we became, one big family with a lot of people. Of course, our dad being a pastor of church. And so all the young people, man. But music became that driving force. And I always talk about, Wes, three major elements of the universe, I believe, are the most powerful. Music being one of the three. The other two are fire and water. Music, I put it equally with fire and water. And why I do that, why I believe that is because life begins when the music starts and life ends when the music stops. And I'm speaking in reference to the heart. The heart is the beat, the rhythm, the melody. And I believe that is the reason why we are so influenced or so impacted by this phenomenon that we are created. That is who we are. And however we express it in whatever genre, it speaks to the essence of our existence. And, I can go on. So when you get conversations, man, I can just.
I hear that. So let's go back to the beginning. So you all you guys, all of the A's, all of the A brothers decided to get together.
A7, yeah.
Yeah. And they called it A7.
Yes.
Was that six brothers and the other one was for
God.
I got you. Okay. So it was A+1. Okay. So A7. Yeah. Okay. So it was A7. And I mean, so I'm guessing you played around at different churches and
We played churches, we played festivals. We had a
okay.
song that do well on the gospel chart called "Don't Walk Away."
Okay.
It became a top 20 song, and then all the brothers just started, started to kind of hear the beat of their own drummer, and one became an attorney, another became president of a college, another is a producer who co-produced my work. He also his you see in the bio, he's done a lot of great names like Her and Brother. Then I have another brother who's a musical director. He's been on just about every Tonight Show, and he does work with me in production as well. So we all still work together in some capacity, and every year the whole family gets together. And I can't forget our beautiful sisters. I mean, they are singers as well. And the youngest of us, of the 8, she sings and acts, and she's in New York. But yeah, we are still all connected creatively in some capacity.
I'm with you. So when did you decide to do things other than gospel music? Let's put it that way.
It's fair to really look at music in and of itself as this really powerful element that we have been gifted, that humanity has been gifted, right, from our Creator. And in doing so, how that can really inspire and heal and bring people together, and it's not about the surface, right, color or ethnic identity or country or province or state or city. It's about what really speaks to our existence, our soul. And that's what gets me excited when it comes to writing and when it comes to performing and really connecting with people, because it has no boundaries. It's there. We are one, right, when it comes to music, because as I stated earlier, life begins with music. We come from the same place. It's rhythm, it's sound, it's melody. So I don't want to get too philosophical, but that's really my thought process and my approach. And I think coming from a gospel background or coming from a faith and education and music as my background, it really helps to me to understand my own process in this expression of music.
So if we can put aside the gospel influences, which of course have been huge upon your musical output, if we put that aside, and when I sat and listened to your music and I just heard this strong influence of Southern soul coming over, mixed with the grittiness of gospel, and also the way you use melodies as well, and indeed sort of used your own vocals, almost writing some of the melodies like Al Green sometimes. And because I was tuned, I thought, hang on. Honestly, I was listening. I thought, hang on a minute, he's doing some Al Green riffs here. Where's he got these from? What's happening? What's happening? And I thought, when I get to speak to you one day, I'm going to ask you. I'm guessing that Al Green was a huge influence upon you at some point.
Yes, and I tell you, Al Green. Even go further back than Al Green, who he was influenced with was Sam Cooke. So, yeah.
Okay.
And Otis Redding and James Brown and those got Ray Charles. Oh my God, I love Ray Charles. I think that we share when we talk about where we come, our music in its essence, and this kind of very innate type of connection with the gospel, with the faith or the religious or the Black experience. It all connects. These guys are legends and super older than me, but I can connect, or we connect on that level even before I started to listen to some of the artists like James Brown or Ray Charles, other than Georgia on My Mind, because we used to watch the Public Broadcasting Network, and that will be the last song on that. That was the only song we could hear because it was on television. Because we didn't grow up watching a lot of TV either. It was very limited to what we can watch. But just very conscious about the influence or the power of the creative expression, how it can have either positive or negative influence on anyone, right? Because it's so powerful. Our parents were very, very conscientious about that. At the same time,
very protective,
right? But understood the importance of having a creative, I allowing creative freedom at the same time, which allowed us to grow to who we've become today. So it's just a really great thing.
So when A7 started to go their own ways and you said, okay, I'm going to do this thing on my own, I'm going to do some solo work. What year was that in?
It was pretty much as recent as a few years ago. And because the A7 has stopped a while though, because we were doing this when we were like in high school and college, undergraduate. But I started to do other things here and there, just solo work as others, and I was writing and I was doing consulting. I started my arts foundation called the Arts Conservatory for Teens, and it helped a lot of underprivileged and at-risk youth through the arts. And so and so during that time, I utilized my creative gift to give back a lot of what I had learned being on the road. And because we traveled all over North America and other parts of the world as well. But then I wanted to really discover, okay, what is my sound? What is my expression today? How do I utilize this gift in a solo space, right? And it led to New York, and then doing a deal with Cross the Line Music, which is a division of Orchard Sony Music, and just started to write. And then we put the song out, Make It Better. Then we did Millionaire. Then we just recently launched the EP Frequency, which is a lot about that. But Frequency came out and was born out of the COVID lockdown over here. Okay. We were not flying back and forth. Yeah, because we were just writing. Was right over here in Nashville, go to LA, write a little bit out there, write in New York. And we're really trying to find great songs and we're working with Richard Goddard and Swag. We really are about what you alluded to earlier, and that's really great music and authentic music. And so we really have been trying to discover that. And so fortunately, the one fortunate thing with the COVID lockdown, out of the many unfortunate happenings, we were able to give birth to some work, a body of work that we felt that would heal, would inspire, and provide an opportunity for people to enjoy during these very uncertain and trying times.
When I close my eyes, you're everywhere. See your pretty face through your long dark hair. Can't be without you. Girl, are you real? Must be real. Or am I daydreaming?
Other stuff I did, it was just we call it market testing, just trying to find my sound. But that was my first official single, yes. Make It Better, and the ones that are available. But how that came about, I was in New York. Has just started to explore and try to find my sound, and went up there with about a few writers and started to write. I had this idea that I wanted to tell a story about the importance of our being aware of how we engage each person we meet on a day-to-day basis. So I did it, and I told that in a love story, which I often do with a lot of my writing. And after I painted the picture and started to write a few things and got with some of the co-writers on the record, and Swag had a track, and he said, I got an idea. He had a very sketch of a track down, and we sat there for that afternoon, a full afternoon, and just wrote, and then until we finished the song. And basically the idea of the song is about how this guy feels really, the story of the song is a guy feeling very overwhelmed by work, and he comes home, and then he has his girl, she out of all that is going wrong at work and in his world, in his own little world, he gets home and he realizes that most important thing is the one he loves, and how much she makes it better, and vice versa, he makes it better for her. And that's what the story of the song is. But again, it seeks to reflect the importance of how each individual should do whatever they can, whether it's opening the door, doing something cordial for someone, or saying, making a nice gesture and say something nice to someone to make it better.
Oh yeah, you make it better. When you're home, when you touch me, you make it better. When you love, when you're with me, you make it better.
If I get a call to put a song in a movie, I got to contact all 5 of those people. They have to contact me, have to run. So if one is missing, you're like, okay. I recorded a song with 3 writers, and one of them was really hard to track down.
I thought that must be a little bit of a challenge as far as the songwriting process is concerned, especially if you're remote as well. You're not even, even if if you're not all sitting in the same room or in the same studio, that becomes a little bit challenging.
Yeah, that was written in the same room, but I did write a few of the songs that's on the EP Frequency remotely via Zoom. And we just kind of went back and forth, maybe with a guitar or I have a track or something. I'll go back and send the lyrics, and we just go back and forth and record something and say, oh, maybe you want to change this and do that. And I record the MP3, send it back, and go back and forth. And everything's just been virtual, man. And that's the way we've learned how to pivot in this very different climate right now.
The track which came across extremely authentic to me was Rolling. The first track of your latest EP, Frequency, Rolling. I just thought, wow, this track is kind of cool.
Thank you.
What inspired? Did you write that one, or was that co-written, or was that lifted from someone else?
No. It wasn't lifted from anyone. Actually, it was written for me by Sam Ashworth. He's a great writer. Also, JC, you may remember him from NSYNC.
Yep.
And also, he was a writer and lead singer before Justin Timberlake, JT. So JC wrote that with Sam and also Nicholas. And there are 3 writers in Nashville. So Sam and I know each other very well. And so he told me, he said, I got the song for you, and I want to send it over. The minute I heard it, I was like, yeah, I can do this.
I've got no secrets to hide. As imperfect as I am, never tell you lies. I wish I knew your way back then when I was rolling.
The vibe of the song I connected immediately with. It had that very southern soulful vibe. The lyrics really talked about, it would align with my my style of writing, and he and I had written quite a bit together, and so he understood. So I look for those kind of things so that it can come across in the way it did in the recording. So
no, well, literally, it's fantastic, and it all does come together. And as I said, I could have sworn you'd written that song for yourself, really, because that's just how well it fits. That does sound
like something I write. Yeah, I love it. I can connect very well with it. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. I said I could just roll through so many of the tracks on the EP. Then I'd be embarrassing you, but you're thinking, hey, hang on, this guy's going over the top. But there are some really strong tracks on there, really beautifully sung. So I just really want to congratulate you on how well you've put this first. Can I call this an EP? Can I call Frequency an EP, or do I call it an album?
Frequency is an EP. That's the title, and the title, if I can share, I don't know if you.
Please do. That was going to be my next question. Where did that title come from?
I said, media and other forms of communication often send frequencies that are not so positive, or at least by the time they are translated to us, that feels negative. So what are some of the, how can I use my platform in sharing this music? I want to share frequencies that really increases the vibration to be inspired by what I'm saying and what I'm playing, and feel hope again, feel healed in places that they feel broken or disconnected. And so I said, why not call this just one word, frequency? I wanted the music to send those kinds of frequencies and then the various vibrations of the songs that are listed.
I would defy anybody who loves good soul music to listen to Rollin', Falling for You, Cry to Me, and not feel touched. I think Cry to Me, is that a Solomon Burke track, Cry to Me?
So I did more of the Freddie Scott, the original version than the one that Solomon, but the song is phenomenal, and it's a very moving song for me to sing. I love it.
Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Come on and cry to me. Oh, nothing can be sadder than a glass of wine all alone.
So Alex, the singles have been great. I know that I've just literally posted onto the WBSS formats your latest Christmas track, Every Day Will Be Like a Holiday. Yeah.
Thank you. I really wanted to do something, to your point, that again, that is authentic, but also has some meaning behind it for those that listen to the track that I put up for the holiday, the single, Every Day It Will Be Like a Holiday, because I wanted to perform something, or record something that was not your typical holiday record, but something that's more atypical and not. I didn't see a lot of people on Apple Music or any of the digital that's recorded it, but something that also that resonates with me, and also resonate with where we are in the world. We can't be with family like we once were, and in 2019, right? So I think that when it talks about every day will be like a holiday, when you get home, it's gonna at some point we're gonna get back together, right? We're gonna see each other, and it's gonna be like amazing. And so I wanted to kind of just speak to that in an empathetic way. Like, I feel your feelings. I'm with you. We're together. We use that phrase. We're all in this together a lot, since the COVID hit and the pandemic. So I wanted to record something that speaks to that as well. So it had multiple meanings behind recording the song.
Every day, yeah, will be like a holiday. When my baby, yeah, when my baby comes home. Now she's been gone for such a long time.
Even just looking at your face, I can see you are so genuinely passionate about everything to do with your music. It's really touching. And as I said, it comes over, and I'm just hoping and encouraging the listeners to this podcast that they, whether it means popping to the record store, whether it means jumping over to Spotify or their favorite streaming channel of choice, listening to what you've done so far, from your first track, Make It Better, to the Frequency EP, to the Christmas track. Where's next for you, Alex? Tell me, where's next?
Oh, we have a lot of great music that's underway. In fact, that I'm super excited about. Right before this interview, in fact, I was at a writing session, virtual writing session. Yeah. But I have some really great stuff coming January, February. We are going to put out, there's some talk, I should say, about putting out a Frequency 2 as well. But prior to that, we have a lot of great music also coming at the top of the year. So, hey, I say just make an Alex Harris playlist, and because we got a lot of good energy coming to you, a lot of great frequency going to be sending to you to listen to, the vibe to.
That's great. Now I'm going to ask you. I'm going to be cheeky and ask you.
Okay.
How do you feel about giving us a song today?
Sure, I'll give you a song. I'll give it to you a cappella. Which one?
Listen, I tell you the tracks. I love Cry to Me. I love Falling for You. There's too many tracks I like. I love Rolling. So listen, so feel free, just treat us with something straight from the heart.
Let's get it all out in the open. Let's have that talk, what you want to know. Yeah, I turned some pages, got no regret, and cards on the table, I settled all my debt. I cleaned up my mess, and I was rolling in and out of love, trying to find my way to you. I was living, learning, and baby, I was hurting. Now I'm only burning for you. And baby, I've got no secret, to hide. As imperfect as I am, I never tell you lies. I wish I knew you way back when I was rolling. And every day I keep falling for you, in love with everything about you. Every day got me feeling brand new. Crazy about the things you do. Every day I keep falling. I can't resist. I'm falling for you. Every day I keep falling for you.
Thank you so much
for rolling and falling for you.
That was absolutely lovely. That was absolutely great. Thank you so much for that. And I like the way you just picked it up and off you went. Which is fantastic. No, thank you so much. That was a real pleasure to hear you singing live like that. And all I hope for in the future, I'm hoping that things get bigger and better, and more and more people begin to realize your talent and also experience your enthusiasm and your passion for what you do.
Thank you so much.
We're going to do our best on our side on WBSS to make sure people are aware of all the good music you're putting out, both now and in the future.
Yes, if I may also share, Wes, with your audience, you can follow me on social media at Alex Harris Official on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter, Alex Harris Tweet. Also on Facebook at Official Alex Harris Music, Official Alex Harris Music on Facebook, on Instagram, Alex Harris Official. Or you can just go to my website, alexharrisofficial.com, alexharrisofficial.com.
Now, I'm going to ask one more thing from you. It's the one last thing. It's not for me directly. But what I'd like to do is ask artists who've been through the mill a little bit, as far as the music industry is concerned, if you had one tip for a new artist entering into the arena now, what would be the tip? What would spring to mind? What you'd think, you know what? Be careful about this, do that, don't do that, don't do this. What would be the thing what springs to mind immediately for him?
Yeah, what springs to mind for me is, one, you must have dedication, and you must be committed to your authentic work. Often we are interested or inspired to do things because we're looking at somebody else's pace, we're looking at somebody else's approach. But find you and be your authentic self, live your truth, and be committed and dedicated and patient in the process.
Thank you so much for your help. And I'm sure that will help someone out there who's now even perhaps feeling a little bit tired and thinking, how much longer? When is someone going to notice me?
Yeah. Yes,
so,
you got to be patient in the process.
Yeah, words of encouragement are always good. You never know who they're going to touch.
That's right. Hang in there. Keep the faith.
Alex, you take care of yourself.
Yes, I look forward to being in the UK.
No, what a pleasure. That'd be fantastic to see. You take care. All the best.
You make me a millionaire.
Well, that's all for today. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Cross the Tracks. Join me again soon for our next journey. Don't forget to follow or subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platforms, whether that be on Apple Tunes, Spotify, Amazon, or Google. And please remember to follow WBSS Media on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to get info on the latest episodes as soon as they are released. Stay curious.